Okay, this is the second part of your feedback. We left off with your Chateau Vineyards package design here. And let me take a look at this. I don't know if you added your, no, you didn't add your label to this. If you have your bottle label with this, which might be on the next, I'm not sure if it's on the next slide. I'm gonna sneeze here, hold on one second. Bless me. You may, because I know we did the label with this, or that you were to do a label with this for the actual bottle itself. It might be good to show that as well. I'm gonna sneeze again, hold on. Okay, I don't want to hear me sneezing. So show that in a flat form as well, and then maybe even sneak in a little mock-up of what it would look like actually on the box and on the bottle. This is something that obviously you might not have had time for, but will look definitely nice for your portfolio. As far as the overall bottle box design, it looks like everything's pretty readable. You have your logo in appropriate places. What you might want to do is align, see this first logo here on your back? Go ahead and draw a margin line down so you can align every single logo. Since you have them all on the top, why not align all the tops together? Okay, that will be nice and consistent. Reserve, okay. Just reading how you have this put out here in Cabernet. Estate, good, okay. You may want to make this slightly smaller. This is pretty big. I would say stick around 12-point type for this, so double check that. If it gets too large, which, you know, you can't really tell until you actually print it out sometimes, but if it gets too large, especially for wine, it just looks big and clunky. So it looks more elegant when it's smaller. And 12-point is perfectly fine. Probably is probably too large. Just think about how people will be, they will be reading it directly from the aisle. You know, obviously they'll see the front from the aisle, so you want to make sure that those words are bigger, which you do. But as far as the detailed information, they're probably going to be holding the box in their hands. So that means that you don't have to have the type very large. It'll only be about 6 to 8 inches from their face. So I make that no larger than 12-point type, adjust that. Same thing here, usually the warnings, if you ever look at other, and I would definitely do this, go look at other boxes at wine stores. This information is super small, so I would keep this around 8 to 9-point type. This is stuff that designers don't really care to have on here, but you have to by law. So definitely make that 8 to 9-point type smaller. You may want to, you have bleeds here, that's good. Let's see, okay, that looks good. And I think that's the only page on here. Yeah, so again, just kind of add on to your label. Oh, I see it here. I thought maybe this was on the next page. Okay, that's good. So you're showing your flat label, or actually on the label on the actual bottle, which is good. That came out good. You may want to do like an actual mock-up where it looks like it's sitting on the table too, since this is so flat straight on. It's completely up to you though. And again, once you kind of edit this information in here, it will show on this, you know, edited on this information as well. Yeah, I would just make this warning copy, just have it really small and like kind of like this space below. Don't make it so long. Just have it like a little area right down here. So that way you have some space and you have space to kind of spread out some of your other things going on here. Okay. And this is your smart lock. Home security. I think this is your trade show, and yeah, trade show materials. Let's go over. Let's take a look at this. This is your flyer. And that's your billboard. Okay, so for this, just presentation wise, just make sure you're not seeing it very pixelated. It's definitely more pixelated than what you see on your outside of your mock-up. So make sure you have this a little bit higher res to put in here so it looks real sharp and clean. The overall billboard looks great. It's easy to read. It's aligned nicely, so I don't really have any other changes to tell you on that one. It's just, and I know some of these are low res for just showing purposes. So when you get to that point where you're actually sending it for review for the actual class, and say if you were to go for an interview, just make sure you have nice sharp images. It may just be changing the resolution from 72 to 150. You don't have to go all the way up to 300 depending on the size. So I would definitely do that. So there's like good, just, you know, get sharper for presentation purposes would be great. As far as the flyer, let me go back here. Let's take a look at this. You might want to put like a little dash in between these two areas here, or a period after each sentence. You might want to align your sentences. So see where it says the smart lock fits? Align that so that these two baselines match up, just like these almost match up to this line and this line. You know, get that alignment good, you know, perfect, because they're side by side. And let me see what else I can do here, or I can suggest here. You might want to make this just a little smaller just because it's getting tight right here. That looks good other than that. And then this is kind of hard to, I can give you some feedback, but it's hard to see it because it's not within the kiosk mock-up. So not only are, you know, it's good to show it flat like this, but also show it in the kiosk if you can. Oh, you know what? It might be in here. There we go. I just saw there was a 2-page thing. All right, sorry. Okay, so this is easier for me to look at and say, hey, you can change this and see how it all kind of displays. All right, so I would definitely take off any type of stroke on your type. See up here in this pink, copy, it looks like there's a stroke on it. It might not be, it might just be viewing this way on a PDF. But if there's any type of stroke or glow around this type, just take it off. It's just really hard to read. I would take off any of the squares out, you know, behind the logo. You did that with your flyer, so why not use it here? It just kind of looks like it was just pasted on here. That's the reason being. On your actual flyer, you were able to do it without that white box. So why don't you just do it and keep it consistent on your kiosk? It'll look cleaner, more professional. Flyers look good, take one, that's great. Again, here the logo would be nicer looking without the white box. You have the nice reflection in there, that's good. Yeah, everything else looks good for that. So just a couple tweaks on that, and that looks good. So let me know if you have any questions. Sorry for the audio feedback, but this is the quickest way I think I can get back to you. And I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions.